Hey guys, you're listening to The Mindful Experiment. This is your host, Dr. Vic, as we launch every week here on Facebook Live on our private Facebook group page called Empowered Living with Dr. Vic. I'm excited to have you on if you're just listening to the recording or you are live. I'm excited to have you here as we discuss the power of visualization. You know, visualization has been a tool that has been used for centuries. It's not something new. And it's one of those things where it really can transform your life if you really understand the power behind it. And in this episode, I really wanted to share a couple studies and talk about how you can use visualization. How does it work from a neurological perspective? And even with some spiritual truths that have been proven scientifically to help you achieve, experience, align yourself what it is that you desire in any fashion, shape, or form that it matters to you. So this is gonna be kind of cool, and you can take this in any level of your life. This is the coaching I do. This is the programs I do, and the reason why is because it's all about returning back to the power. But more importantly, when you share universal truths and you share universal laws, what ends up happening is that they work on every level. There's not like one level that's better than another, or it's only specific to one thing. This truly plays a role on all aspects of your life. So, first things first, this first spiritual truth that states is that you cannot, right? You've heard this saying before, seeing is believing, right? So everybody says seeing is believing. The spiritual truth is the opposite. One must believe in order to see, right? You have to believe in something, believe it to be true in order to have that experience in your life, right? Because you live in a time-space reality. You live in a time-space continuum. This is called Earth, physical, you're a human being. So you live in this place where you're a physical being who's moving through space and time. And things take time. But when you tap into the mind, you get into the quantum realm. You don't, it's about it's more of looking at things in different dimensions. And when you tap into these different dimensions, this is when you are not limited by time. I'm not saying you're going to get something instantaneously, but the transformation happens instantaneously. And then you just have to wait for time and space to play catch up, if that makes sense. And so when it comes to the visualization and the spiritual truth that I'm sharing here, you must believe it first before you can see it. And the spiritual truth states that what you see in the mind's eye is what you'll see in the eyes. The eyes will be able to see what you see in the mind's eye. Everything starts with mind first. Then from there, you can go ahead and now, once you're crystal clear in your mind and you know what you want to see, you know what you want to experience, and you're crystal clear, it's almost impossible for you not to. The only way you can't experience that is if you block it. So understand that what you see in your mind's eye is what you'll see in your reality, because neurologically the brain doesn't know the difference between physical and non-physical, right? Non-physical is a thought. It's the experience of the mind. It's what you perceive into the world. So when you have these thoughts, research has shown that thoughts are a frequency. Thoughts have a vibration. They're matter, right? They influence matter. We even know this from a biological perspective. We know that if you have a negative thought, one negative thought, it decreases the immune system within the body. We know that if you have anxious thoughts or anxiety or racing thoughts, it speeds up the mechanisms in the body. You have more racing cells, and more heart rate goes up, and all these things from thought. This is not even looking at the perspective of not even looking at the perspective of, like, hold on a minute here. I'm just having a thought and it changes something. This is crazy. How's that possible? There's so much testing in the health world of how we can utilize that and to show and experience how your thoughts really affect your reality. So again, coming back to the visualization of truth here, is that what you see in your mind's eye is what you'll see in your reality, but you must see it crystal clear within your mind's eye. Now, I want to back this up with a couple things here, just to kind of show you how powerful visualization is. There was a study done, and it was a study on basketball, and what they were doing is they were doing a study here by Dr. Biasotto, and what they were doing at the University of Chicago was they split it off into 3 groups, and they were analyzing the power of visualization. So in the first group, they practiced free throws every day for 1 hour. In the second group, they just visualized them making free throws. Now, in the visualization process, they saw themselves shooting. They saw it in the head mind. You're shooting the free throw. You feel the muscle fires. You hear the swishing of the sound of the net. Everything all visualized crystal clear. And then the third group did nothing. Okay. After 30 days, he tested again. Now this is really, really cool. In the first group, they improved by 24%. Now, you're probably saying, okay, yeah, they practice, right? Practice makes permanent, right? And so you get better as you practice. It's sharpening the knives. It's doing all these things to help expand you in your life for what you do. So that's kind of like a no-brainer. If you practice, you're going to get better. It's just common. But the second group, the visualization group, they improved 23% without even touching a basketball. Now, let me rephrase it. Let me say that one more time. They improved 23% without even touching a basketball. Pretty cool. Now, the third group who did nothing, what do you think happened to them? They didn't change at all, which is kind of common. We kind of know that one. But isn't it amazing that you can do the work and you can get a 24% gain, or you can do the visualization work and get a 23% gain? Now you're starting to see how what you see in the mind's eye first, what creates your reality. And that's just basketball, right? They did a study, a 5-day study, nothing fancy. And all it was it was a piano player, and they had one person play the piano an hour a day for 5 days. The second person just visualized playing the piano in their mind's eye, right? But feeling their fingers going over the keys. What does it feel like? Touching, sense. They're just visualizing all that experience. At the end of the 5 days, they revisualized, they did an imaging on their brain to see the patterns that were developed through that process. What was amazing is that the visualization, the ones who practiced every day, obviously you saw some what we call synapses, which are new connections, new wiring. It's called Hebb's law. Nerves that fire together wire together. So there was new wiring happening in the brain. What was shocking was the same thing happened to the people who were just visualizing, not touching keys. Pretty cool. I mean, guys, this is mind-blowing stuff. We're starting to just break the surface of understanding the power of visualization in our own way scientifically that the spiritual gurus have been telling us for thousands of years. They knew this thousands of years ago. And I personally believe that we're actually catching up to them, that they knew this stuff and they created all this amazing stuff and technologies. I mean, if you start researching ancient civilizations, they had things that even with our best stuff couldn't replicate. I mean, that's the power of what they had. So when you look at your life, and the reason why I share these studies with you guys is I'm just trying to show you the proof in the pudding, right? That it's there, that you do visualization, this happens. In my 5-week online course, I talk about a couple other studies that come up from a muscle side and some other sides that really try to hone the ground to really inspire you, to give you that concrete evidence, right? Because I got to tap into left brain a little bit to really give you the confidence to know that you can change anything in your life as long as you visualize first. Because if you can get anything out of this episode, the one thing that you can get is that what you see in your mind's eye happens first is what's going to tell the eyes what to see. You have to see it in the mind's eye first before anything else. In my last week video episode that we did, I talked about what programs your mind a little bit, right? RAS, reticular activating system. This week we're talking about the power of visualization. And so if you can really work on this, I'm telling you, it will transform your life. It actually makes things easier because you're telling the mind what to look for, and now it can seek and find. And so the more you do these visualizations, the more you tap into this power, the more you transform your life in any relation, anything you do. If it's career, if it's family, if it's socioeconomic, if it's financial, if it's mental health, physical health, if it's relationships, if it's spiritually, if it's whatever you desire, this works on all levels. When you speak universal laws, this is why I was so attracted to universal laws, is because if I learned it in one avenue, I could take that and apply it to all things, and it works in the same realm. And so to me, that was less work. That's why I was interested in it. But it really has transformed my life. And I've used visualization in so many different ways that I've seen what it has done for me. And I know that it can do for you. So take time. Here's what I'm challenging you to do for the next 30 days. Every single day, spend 15 to 30 minutes and just challenge yourself to go ahead and visualize something that you desire, and just visualize it. See it happening, okay? I want you to visualize that, because what's going to happen is in 30 days, you'll see. Notice I'm not going to put an expectation on it, but I'm challenging you. Join me on my private Facebook group page, Empowered Living with Dr. Vic, and join me on that challenge together, because I'm challenging you to do that, because I really am all about change and transformation. I really am all about taking action. And so here I'm challenging you to something. Let me know. Shoot me an email if you have any questions, drvic@empoweryourreality.com. Check us out on Facebook. We're on Instagram too. You can DM me, whatever you have to do, any questions you have. But 30 days, challenge yourself when it comes to visualization and creating a life that you desire. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this week. If you're on Facebook Live, thanks for taking the moment to join us. If you're not, check us out on Facebook Live. We are here every Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock Central Time. You can come join us, and we definitely, you can interact with me, ask questions and comments and things along that nature. I look forward to talking to you guys next week. I hope you have an amazing one. Until next time, keep rocking and rolling.